What's up, boys? Back for another episode. This week we do not have a guest, so it's just us three talking. We got Nagy and Alina with us. How we doing tonight, boys?
Good.
All right, so let's get into it. Big talk this week is obviously the MLB. MLB is kind of fucked up right now. Players and owners disagreeing, but now the players are so fed up they basically just said, screw it, show us when we can play, and let's start instead of trying to negotiate anymore. The MLBPA said that they will not send a counter agreement back to the owners. They just said, tell us when we start and when to play. I saw that now they're saying there might be a delay because of coronavirus, even though they were willing to play for the past month, but now they're going to delay it. They also said that the owners clearly want to play the least amount of games possible, so they're just going to try to, slow this out. So the players are forced to only play like 48 games. Alina, what do you think about all this? I mean,
just a joke of the it's killing it's like slowly becoming the least cared about major four, which is pretty crazy comparing it to hockey. But a stat that I saw, which was pretty nuts, is that Long Gone Summer, the 30 for 30, was the least watched 30 since they started doing this. Like
it
10, 20
got
years.
beat out by like a Hawaiian surfer about their life. Like they had like 300,000 or 3,000 more views than that. Like that's absurd.
Actually crazy. And I know it's like you can argue like people just stream things online. I don't know if those numbers would count necessarily if you're like how they tally all that if it's being streamed on ESPN3 rather than tuned in live on ESPN. But either way, just embarrassing for baseball to not be able to come to an agreement. The thing is though, it's like now with the NBA, I know it's not like really coming down to money for the NBA, but I'd really be interested to see how the NFL would be handling this too.
If they had to play right now.
If they were on a time crunch right now too, I feel like it may not be as uncommon as you would think with all these owners in different leagues too.
I think the NFL would just play though. Like I don't even think it would be a discussion. Like the NFL has so much money in marketing and like TV deals that it's like, and each year they make more. So the owners would be fine with just playing the games. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's a fucking joke that like anybody is taking the owner's side. Like the players have literally, like they're literally just getting boned on this deal. And they still have said, like at the end of this, they've been like, all right, we'll accept this deal, even though we know we're getting fucked. We're just so pissed off. Let's just play baseball. And the owners are still like, well, I don't know when we can start. It's like, how the fuck does that make any sense? Like, Nagy, what do you think about all this?
It seemed like the owners were just going to keep prolonging all the negotiation arguments as long as they could. And then the players, like you said, were like, all right, let's play. And then they released the names of a couple of players and coaches that had contracted coronavirus. And they're like, oh, so we can't start right now. We got to wait a little longer.
Yeah. But a few of them were like a month ago. Like they said they tested positive like over a month ago. And it's like now they're saying that's why they can't play.
Yeah,
like
they didn't release like updated like symptoms of the names that they listed. They're just throwing that out there to get an extra week or two.
100%. Do you think this is hurting baseball as a whole, like in terms of fans following all that?
Oh yeah.
I was listening to this podcast.
Baseball literally sucks.
I was listening to this podcast and this guy was like, I just don't see how it's like hurting baseball. If they come back next year, everyone's going to watch it. It's like baseball is a dying sport right now. Their demographic, their average age of viewer is like 56 years old. Okay. So it's only getting worse. How people don't give a fuck is like, this is the time you can gain a few fans and you can get people to start watching it again. And instead it's going to be even more like for people like, yeah, it's going to come back next year. And for like an average sports fan, if they're bet on it or like if it's on at a bar, they're going to watch it. But like, I mean, if other stuff's on, I'm 100% watching other stuff. Like at this point, I'd rather fucking watch horses race than fucking watch baseball. So like, it doesn't really matter. Now, I will say if they do come back and play 48 games, it would be dope because like every game is going to mean something. And I hope that means for the future that baseball lowers the amount of games they play in a season because I think they need to very badly. I think 162 games is so pointless. And that's why the viewers are so old because I mean, our age group, no one can fucking pay attention to something for 2 minutes, let alone 162 games.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it's just like, in like for the first two series still best of fives too? Or no?
Yeah, they are.
That's so insane.
Yeah, they are. I know, like you can switch that to 7 games easily.
Yeah, like they try to make it seems like they're trying to fucking shorten their playoffs, but then prolong the meaningless regular season games.
I hate when owners cry poor. It's like, dude, if you guys did very well this year in the playoffs, like I don't think you can renegotiate contracts for regular season games in terms of TV deals, but they 100% can get more money in the playoffs from TV deals. Like they 100% their ratings are out the roof can renegotiate that. And it's like in 2 years, like you're probably going to make your money back up. Like you're not going to lose that much. I don't think. I mean,
I thought that the players made a good point. I'm trying to remember who tweeted it, or I think it was
Trevor Bauer.
well, it was one of the main Barstool guys. Long hair. Or not Carabas. The other, it might have been
Dallas Braden.
It was one of the 2 main baseball guys, but they're saying like, yo, if they want to take a percentage of the pro rate on whatever number of games they want to play in the regular season, like the players wouldn't care if they were willing to like give them retributions on their contract like in the next couple of years. Like if they wanted to pay back that extra 25% over the next like 2 or 3 seasons so they don't take the initial hit, but they end up getting paid the money anyways. I mean,
right.
I don't see how that would be too impossible to.
Yeah, but the owners are like they're not trying to lose money on this season and then pay back players the next 2. Like they're not trying to do shit. They don't want to do shit with this.
It's very, very greedy.
It's fucking absurd. So speaking of the 30 for 30, we all watched it. I thought it was fucking horrible. I really thought it was terrible. Like that was when baseball was on top. I don't know if you remember, but we were all pretty young. But 98 was like a year that resurged baseball because it was kind of like slowly going down since the lockout in 94. And then that summer where like these guys were just hitting ding dongs all summer long, it kind of like it was like the thing to watch for the first time where like baseball was taking over a summer. Nagy, what do you think about the 30 for 30?
Yeah, I thought that was a good point. Like, I mean, they were definitely like that was like the initial downward spiral where like baseball is kind of like right now. Like they're coming off into the 98 season. And I think their home run race was similar to what gives us a purpose to watch like different NFL teams play when we have like fantasy football to follow. I mean, it gives like fans from different teams like a reason to watch another team's whole season, basically, even if they don't have their own team to root for.
Right, for sure.
What do you think of the documentary, though?
Oh, not great. I mean, there wasn't like, I mean, compared to like the Michael Jordan documentary, it didn't seem like there were all like at any time like a ton of cameras getting like any of the behind the scenes of like these players when they're having like arguably the greatest hitting seasons of all time and like the best hitting seasons of all time, and no one's like back in the clubhouse like getting behind the scene footage of them to like be able to share at all. Which I mean, the Michael Jordan documentary had so much, and it was so entertaining to get that extra scoop behind them.
I think that's tough to compare that exactly though, because the documentary of the Jordan, there was literally a legit hired film crew to
Yeah,
only follow the
Right. Yeah.
Bulls.
It's. I'm not blaming like the documentary itself. I'm just saying that's definitely like a falter point to why it wasn't quite as enjoyable. And I'm a baseball guy.
I
Yeah.
thought I thought that was it was about as good as I would expect it to be. Having I wish they would have dove into a little bit more. They didn't touch on steroids at all really until like the latter half of the
Yeah.
thing, which sucked. But yeah, it's still like unfortunately, like at this point, I like that he still was like pussyfooting around it. It seemed like it was definitely a taboo topic to talk about for probably 10 years or so. But I mean, that shit's got to be worn off by now. Like you should have. Yeah, I think there was an opportunity to really dive into this whole Balco report and whatnot. But I mean, the thing is too. So I started like looking up other stats behind that. They did the same shit in '99. Like he hit Sammy Sosa hit like 63 and Mark hit 66. So like it went on for like 2 straight seasons. And yeah, it was like huge for the just like making baseball entertaining again. But yeah, I guess it was. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a good documentary, though. I didn't think it sucked. Why do you think it sucked?
I feel like it was like a Mark McGwire documentary. It was just like solely about him, kind of. Like Sammy Sosa was not in it as much. And like they only showed like for me during that run, like they were saying like those two guys' batting practices were the coolest thing to ever watch. Like they would have 20,000 fans show up to watch Mark McGwire hit batting practice or Sammy Sosa hit in batting practice. I would have been fine watching 20 minutes of both of them just hitting batting practice. Let's see how many bombs they hit. Like I think that would have been so cool. I just think they got so much into it was definitely more Mark McGwire. Like they wanted to prove instead of accepting steroids, and which I think both of them at this point just need to, and they both deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because like it's fucking stupid in my opinion. But they like showed like Mark McGwire his first year in college, how he was a good hitter in college and in high school, and like it kind of dragged that on. And then like I just feel like if you're gonna show a backstory, I think both of them deserved a backstory. Like with Mark McGwire was kind of like a bland dude. Sammy Sosa was like exciting and like talked to the media, like, but I just feel like it was all Mark McGwire. And I hate the Cubs, but I just think like Sammy Sosa deserved a lot more in that documentary.
Yeah, one of the theories is or reasonings I guess behind it. That guy was like a St. Louis uh like fan, so it was definitely like probably
Yeah, he was, and why he got hired was because like his brother and sister are like diehard Cubs fans, so they wanted like the whole family to kind of do it. Like,
well, dude, my other theory then would be, I mean, like Sosa at the end, like when it came down to steroids, like he wouldn't talk about it.
right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like he wasn't as available or as willing to go into like a deep dive like Mark. I mean, Mark McGwire openly admitted he did steroids. And that's
Well, yeah, they had that little thing about the thing he had in his locker, and
yeah,
right, for sure.
But he like admitted it. And that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. I like probably.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is, isn't he?
He's in the Cardinals Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
That red jacket, that's the Cardinals Hall of Fame.
He got like, I think he got the most votes he's ever gotten for the Hall of Fame this year.
But I do agree with that, Olina, because I do think, like, watching Sammy in his interviews, you could kind of tell he was sitting back like, okay, when's the steroid question coming? Okay, when's the steroid question? Okay, when's the steroid question? And I don't know if you remember, but he got asked about why he gained so much weight. This was like an interview way back when. And he said when he was wherever he was right before the Cubs, he had toothache problems. And when he got to the Cubs, his toothaches got fixed. So he just ate a lot. Was that the team right before the Cubs?
Yeah, I think.
Well, whatever team it was, he said he had toothaches, and then once he got to the Cubs, he said he went to the dentist and got it all fixed, and so he was able to eat a lot. So he just ate a lot more because his teeth didn't hurt. Like that was his explanation of why he gained like 20 pounds. Like
That's
I just
hilarious.
ate hot dogs, man. But I do agree with that part. I do think Mark McGwire is definitely more open and admits like, hey, I took steroids. Like, so be it.
I cannot believe I thought he was actually in the Hall of Fame. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I guess. So what is your whole? Do you think everyone that was that took steroid, like his dumbass admitted it? Then I guess is why I thought he was in because he was honest. So he's not in. So pretty stupid to admit it then if they couldn't actually prove it.
right. But then again, like they haven't. Sammy Sosa never actually got like tested guilty to using steroids. Like it was like Wall Street, huh?
He wasn't on that voluntary test.
No, it was like a Wall Street Journal like doctor was like, yeah, he 100% did, but then like nothing came for it, but then everyone believed it, which we all know he fucking did it. Like why would you not have an open? Don't you think if you didn't do it and all these people are like telling you did it, why would you not be like having interviews like I didn't fucking do it? Like you clearly did it. But I don't know. I think the whole steroid thing is like, dude, fucking bring it back, man. That would be so exciting this year if they could just do steroids and everyone's just hitting bomb after bomb after bomb.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is like, were the pitchers using them too? Like, that's
that was
like
that was someone else's argument. Was like, okay, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, they clearly got bigger, so they were hitting a shit ton of home runs, but I'm sure there were some fucking pitchers who were using it, and they could last 8-9 innings consistently.
I was getting McGwire mixed up with Roger Clemens because he's been really close the past couple of years. I had him mixed up with him.
How close has McGwire been?
He's not even like on. I don't think
he's not eligible.
He's not eligible anymore. That's why I went to check. I was like, oh, I don't think because you only have like a certain amount of time after you retire where you can get voted in. I thought.
Yeah.
What? How long do you have? That's fucking dumb.
I thought it was like somewhere between 10 and 15 years.
And they do about every year.
Because like
year, yeah.
I have the list from last year. Like Jeter got the unanimous, like almost unanimous, and then the closest ones were Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds. Sammy was still voted on last year. Sammy was the 14th top ballot getter with 13.9%.
And you have to get 2/3 to get in, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
No, it's a little more. It's like over 70%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Kurt Schilling got 70% this past season.
And didn't get in?
It's 75%.
75? God damn.
Right.
So a player is eligible to be on the ballot for 10 years unless they receive less than 5% of the votes at any time, at which point he falls off the ballot until 16 years after his retirement. The 10 years pass and the player isn't voted in, he can still make the Hall if he's voted in by what's now called the Eras Committee. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa haven't come even remotely close to ever being inducted.
That's crazy. I think the corked bat thing really hurt Sammy, I think.
Agreed. And like the problem with Sammy is he fucking tried to dip around with the stupidest fucking excuses. He said it's a cork bat, it's a show bat to show everyone in BP. So why the fuck isn't it even close to your bats to use in a game then?
That excuse fucking sucks.
All cork bats that are used for BP are clearly marked in the dugout. So
that's what I'm saying, right? Like
there was a guy back in like right around that same. I think it was a little like maybe a season or two before Sammy. Or no, I think it was like right in the late 90s too. Like a dude, he broke his like original like non-cork bat at the plate. Like he hit a foul ball, broke his bat. Bat boy brought him a bat, and it was like one of the corked bats, and he had no idea. And then the umpire he broke that bat. Umpire saw it was corked, and he got like a 6-game suspension.
I'd be so pissed.
Dude, but like, how insane! I thought it was nuts. Sammy Sosa got an 8-game suspension, if I remember correctly. I looked it up the other day. Dude, how do you only get an 8-game suspension for using a fucking enhanced bat?
Right. It's only because that they can't prove that you had used a court bat like the other times.
It doesn't. I still disagree. I don't care. Like I feel like that's like saying you used a steroid to heal your a sickness one time, one week.
I mean, people have always been tougher on like drug cases too. Like
a court bat to say that it's a practice bat for show, which I get that you want to. I mean, you're hitting dingers all the time. So when you're doing BP before the game, hit some more dingers. But how you even like, he wasn't even. I mean, there's nothing marked like, and then he comes up with that excuse. He clearly used it multiple times.
I'm a huge Cubs fan. I'm pretty much like 97% sure. Like he knew what he was doing.
Oh, 100 easily.
But like that's like when I talk to my other friends who are Cubs fans, like they're like still 50-50. Like they.
I mean, so if you're gonna get a 6-game suspension, you can pull out a bullshit excuse like that. Why not do it your whole career and just, or not? Maybe not your whole career because that's a thing. But I mean,
that's just one of those things. Like each time you get caught after, it's like
I know. I'm saying do it until you get caught the first time though. Like there's not.
That's why he probably was doing it for a while.
I mean, for all we know, he could have done it for like 50 straight games, and then that one game he got caught. Like, who really fucking knows? What did you guys think about the guy who got the home run ball? It gave it back to Mark McGwire.
Oh, that guy's a fucking pussy.
Did you guys see what he got? Like, someone was trying to like on the internet was like, dude, he actually got some cool stuff out of it. He got like 2 autographed bats by Mark McGwire and a fucking like minivan. Like that's all he fucking got. A fucking that's nothing.
Are you talking about the 62nd? Like the number 62 ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy at the very beginning, like the very opening scene of the 30 for 30, it was the guy that ended up buying it, and he said after taxes and a couple fees.
That was number 70, not 62.
Oh, I thought that was a 62 ball.
No, 70 I meant.
Oh, okay.
No, you're not. You guys are talking about 2 different balls.
That's okay. I'm glad you cut me off then.
62 was the one he barely hit over, and the foul ball guy got to give it back to Mark.
It barely went over next to the
one that was bought by that collector for like $3 million.
I'm talking about 62 when the guy gave it back to Mark McGwire.
Yeah, I know that, but you just said it. Yeah, so it's
no. He said 62, so I thought the 62 ball was that then. Okay, right. The 62 ball where the guy gave it back. That guy's a fucking moron.
Yeah. So you're saying he got a minivan, like a car?
Yeah, like the dealership had a contract with like Bush Stadium. They had a contract or something, and they like somehow gave this dude a car.
That's funny, but yeah, I mean, you still sold yourself short like $950,000 at that point.
Just tell Mark McGwire, give me $100K, we'll call it even. Like
at least, like, geez.
Also, I thought it was so stupid how we had like literally like 75 different MLB reporters in that. Like, I don't need to hear from 95 different writers. Just show me like 6. It's like I don't, they have a different one and they have like one line in it. It's like you don't even get a grasp of what they're trying to say at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like from an entertainment perspective, like having steroids is a much more entertaining baseball. But as an actual baseball fan, I don't think a lot of – well, I guess I don't know, but I would think that at least I think the core demographic, like the 51-year-olds are like, keep those fuckers out of the Hall of Fame. Like they
for sure.
Which I don't even necessarily disagree with, to be honest, but it's the fault goes back on like where they barely touched on this, which I also thought was a shame. But it's like they didn't have any testing for this shit. They knew what the fuck was going on. They're turning a blind eye because baseball is literally going to the fucking moon from their shitty like recession they were in with like viewers and attendance and all that shit from the strike.
Right.
They're turning the blind eye to let these guys take what they're taking. And just another thing, it's like, yeah, Mark McGwire wasn't even hiding it. He was literally in his fucking locker the whole time. And
Yeah, like that thing's a banned substance, and it was just in his locker.
so who was the first writer that wrote about that shit? It was a writer, right? Like that's how it leaked or whatever. Like the reporter did it.
I believe so. Yeah, it was a reporter. I don't know who it was, but
cocksucker cancel culture motherfucker started it back in
yeah.
90.
I just here's my take about the whole steroids thing is I think it's fucking awesome, but also these people who are like you still have to hit the baseball, steroids don't really help. Dude, yes they fucking do. Imagine if Mike Trout put another 20 pounds of straight muscle. Dude would be hitting 60, 70 home runs now.
He'd be hitting like over the rock pile in left center field.
Exactly. Like he's a big guy now, but 20 pounds of straight muscle for that guy where he's just jacked. That like steroids.
That's the thing. Like that, the whole to your point of the people say you still have to hit the baseball. That argument is the dumbest shit of all time. Like, yeah, no shit, you still gotta hit the baseball. There's only a handful of people in the world who are good at it, and they're all in the fucking MLB. So when you give certain ones in that realm the steroids, like it's gonna make
100%
difference. Like, yeah, you or I, we go take steroids, we're not gonna be magically MLB hitters, but the people that are already at that level,
right?
Steroids, it's gonna fucking improve their statistics.
It's like that's like improving a sprinter's time by like 0.04 seconds.
The 1%, and then you give them a huge edge. You're gonna see a breakaway from the rest of the field.
Right.
100%.
A lot of baseball players can hit like pop flies any day of a game, every day of the week. But when you hit a pop fly when you're jacked up on roids, it's gonna go a lot farther and
for sure.
Home runs.
What do you guys think about the whole shit with Roger Maris, I should say? They were touched on that like a lot more than I thought they would, for one, and that seemed like just like a weird, like the Yankees fans didn't even want him to break Babe Ruth's record apparently, or like the league didn't. I don't know. They like really touched on it though.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I don't think like anyone wants anyone to break anyone's record. Like I feel like MLB fans are like super, super like Babe Ruth, even though it's 150 years ago. There's no chance we want you breaking our record.
And then the whole thing was when he broke that record, it was the first year of the expansion from 120 some games to 162. So he had like 40 more games or whatever to
yeah.
one more home run. So they were pissed about that. But yeah, that shit was fucking nuts. And then like I don't know, that maybe like just that actually like re-sparked my interest in like stats, like just home run stats and whatnot. So I started looking up like Barry Bonds stats and shit, which was interesting. But I don't know.
Oh, that's the best though. When baseball was when you had those two, Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Bonds, just hitting bombs, and like you were checking who was leading the home run category because there was so many home runs. And
so did Griffey do roids, or is he like thought of as a roid guy, or no?
No,
he's in the Hall of Fame, so I don't think he's thought of a roid guy.
Yeah, he was first ballot.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he's not in the documentary at all, because he has nothing but. Imagine being a guy that doesn't use roids and you got two fuckheads using roids and they just like crush your like that would have 100% would have been him in that home run race with like. I mean, I don't know how much he had with, but he would have been like at the fourth side and it's like, fuck these guys, I'm doing it for real.
Right.
Well, that's that whole argument of you still have to hit the ball out. If Ken Griffey takes roids, probably 10 to 15 of those fly balls that are going to the center field are home runs. Like,
yeah,
at least
if Griffey's on roids, it's a 3-man race, no doubt about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's completely just erases that whole like you have to hit it out of the ballpark. Yeah,
especially
but that's the difference.
Bro, he like has
his swing was
high arc on his swing plane. He would have.
His swing was the purest swing in baseball. It's still the greatest swing in baseball. Ken Griffey Jr.'s swing is the greatest swing in baseball. But all right, let's move on and talk a little bit about the NBA. They're back, I guess. Tonight they announced like their whole plan of hotels, where they're playing preseason games, and then jumping into the 8-game regular season type deal, and then playing the playoffs. I don't know. I think the whole bubble thing's kind of freaking weird, like pretty fucking weird, but I don't really care that much because if they're playing that, I'll take that. I don't know. What's your guys' thought about the whole thing? I think the bubble thing is just absurd. Honestly, I think it's kind of stupid, but if that's the only way they can play. What's up?
What's the bubble thing?
It's like so they have 3 hotels. The hotels are only for the 3 teams. They split or the 3 there's like 3 divisions, and it's like the 3 hotels for the 8 teams per division type thing. And they all stay in the hotels, little bubbles, and then they can only have a certain amount of people come, like 30 people total, and then including like training staff, everything like that. Then they have like these like lounge area rooms. It's almost like it's like a fucking AAU tournament. Like they have these like lounge area rooms where like they said like guys can play 2K and stuff. These guys are fucking 36 years old. Like, I mean, some of them might.
Some of them are younger, but
Some of them might, but like the Lakers
that, like, are younger and don't have families. Or probably like, I'm down to do that. I'm fucking bored as shit right now.
for sure. But like, I mean, most of those teams are out in week 1 because they're not gonna go far in the playoffs. But then it's like DJs are gonna come. Then it's like if you leave the bubble, you have to quarantine for 14 days. And I don't know if that means like, what if you pass a coronavirus test and it says you don't have it, you still have to like quarantine? Like they didn't really get into that.
Oh yeah, you definitely would, unless the research has changed where symptoms can be delayed for 14 days. That's what the
right
first was. Wait, so you can leave? That would be like that defeat the whole fucking purpose.
Like you're not supposed to.
So like emergencies only, maybe, or what?
Well, I mean, they can't force you to stay, that type of thing. But like also if you do leave and then you get sick or whatever, like then you lose out on money. Like that's on you then.
It seems like I don't know. That'd be so. Let's say like I don't know, like J.R. Smith. I know he's not even playing right now, right? He's not on the team.
He'll get picked up. You can add like 3 more players.
Like,
so
I'm going to a club or whatever. Went to a club, comes back, and the whole fucking team gets sick. Like that would be like a nightmare. Because you can't. I'm assuming. Wait, when you say you're quarantining for 14 days, you can't play for 14 days either.
Yeah, no, like you're in your hotel room by yourself basically for 14 days.
Oh, okay.
So like you can't leave.
They'd have to like forfeit like their games that they would miss.
But it wouldn't get to that point unless you somehow snuck out and no one ever found out. Like you wouldn't see any of your teammates.
Yeah.
So, but it's like also like I have a very hard time believing if they're going to. So what another rule is like if you have a guy who tests positive for it, he has to 2-week quarantine. But then technically you're allowed to pick someone up during those 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But, like, let's say it's the Western Conference Finals. LeBron tests positive. Like, I have a hard time believing they're really going to release that. Like, I really have a hard time believing.
Under the bed so fast.
There's no way they would hide it and let him keep playing now.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like I think there definitely would be a possibility, like, dude, like.
So this is like the thing, though. Like it'd be tough to spin it, but it's like, dude, no one's had a symptom of it. Like every NBA, there's been like 15 NBA players who've gotten it, and not a single one, like every single one of them's like, I can play tomorrow. Like I feel nothing. So, like, it'd be tough to spin it. I mean, imagine if you have a Western Conference final and, like, somehow LeBron, AD, Kawhi, and Paul George all test positive. Like, who the fuck's watching that Western Conference finals? And then, on top of that, it's like, whoever wins, like, does that really count? Like, that's such a wasted season.
The corona shit.
Because there's so much time between the series, like, that could be enough time for those players to come back for the NBA finals. Like, if they did happen to get sick at the beginning of the
right. But then again, if they're all in this bubble, how the fuck is anyone gonna get it? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the NBA's standpoint of it. If like everyone stays in this bubble and everyone's tested the 3 weeks before we even start playing and no one has it and everyone's in this bubble, we haven't brought anyone else in. Like how the fuck is someone gonna get it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, theoretically, it should work perfect if they do.
Oh,
it right.
like I said, I think it's crazy, but it's like it's gonna bring back basketball, so like I'm okay with it, completely okay with it. I mean, it's not really. I mean, there's gonna be, and then like during the playoffs, you can bring your families and stuff as long as they test negative and whatnot. And
that's where it's gonna.
Right.
That's where it gets tricky. Like that's where it could spread real quick.
It's like halfway through, like it's like after the first round or two of the playoffs is when the families can start to come. But yeah, they would have to test. That's at least that's what the article said.
Everyone's gonna have to test.
Is this like these tests? Like, what do they really do? Like, the tests need to be like up to 10 days. I thought, which
right, they would have to like go there like.
No, some of them come back within like 24 hours, less than that.
No, I know the test results do, but you sometimes like you can go like if you let's say you go to a concert, come back that night, test, the results come in, you're negative, but then you actually have your symptoms don't come up positive on the test for 14 days is what used to be the case.
I think they've cut it down to like 9 or 10, but it's still, yes, more than a week that you could still test positive after you tested the first time. But I don't know. I mean,
if you test negative the first time, then you end up testing positive like 10 days later.
right. But like, I mean, I feel like it's going to be pretty spread out where like only you like, so you're putting yourself in jeopardy then. So, like, your family's not going to see anyone else. They're only going to see you, really. So, if you're the one who gets it and then tested positive, you're the idiot who did it, you know? So, like, you can't really blame anyone else if your family's, like, out and about. But I feel like a lot of the players, I mean, who really knows, but if they're pretty skeptical about it, aren't going to let their – are going to make sure their families aren't doing shit from now until they go to Florida.
Yeah. If I was like truly concerned with getting it, like bringing the families in seems like that's gonna fuck it all up somehow. But I honestly like if you're gonna actually do this, you have to be a pretty optimistic guy to think it's gonna run smoothly the entire time. So I feel like they kind of know what they're risking at this point to go play. I think with what you said, like the 15 guys who've had it have been fine. Like there hasn't been crazy fucking just like crazy sicknesses from it. I think they're like maybe athletes that get it are just in such great condition that it doesn't affect them in the same way. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't affect really most people under the age of like 40, but
that's up for debate.
Not death.
Yeah, not death, but like 8 like couldn't really.
But like, what?
I said I'd get clapped. I think I wouldn't stand a chance.
I completely disagree with that one. I don't know. I feel like a lot of players like though want the families to be there, so you pull that away. I think it could be.
They do.
They do. Like they all voted for it. So, anything else from either of you?
So what's holding them back now? Like Kyrie, I didn't even really read into it. Kyrie's like not wanting to play now or something.
Well, Kyrie can't play.
I think they're just trying to figure out like the rosters they want to set for the beginning. Like each
Kyrie can't play. He's hurt.
No, it had something to do with.
No, so Kyrie can't play. He's hurt. But his whole group, like thinks that they shouldn't be playing right now because of everything that's going on. So players just want to know that the NBA basically is going to help them with letting their voices be heard on everything that's going on top of if a player is afraid of the virus, they have until June 24th to let their teams know if they are going to show up or not. And if they don't show up, they just don't get paid, but no penalty. Their contract's still next year, and whatever they have left, if they do show up, they get paid. So it's nothing really holding them back. I mean, they don't start training camp, I think, for at least another week, and that's always been the plan anyways. So I don't think they're really holding back. I think they're just working out minor.
Or no?
Are they what?
Are they already down there right now or no?
No.
No, they're supposed to start their training camps like at their facilities and then show up before I think the first games are like
because they have like training camps in Florida for teams set up for like scrimmages.
Yes.
So like they'll do workouts between the 7th and the 29th with each team getting each team getting 3 scrimmages, and then the first like official game on the schedule right now is July 30th.
Yeah, so it's like they're going to work out at back home and then have their own training camp once they get back down there. So, I mean, it's not going to start for a while anyways, but hopefully they don't have any hiccups. I don't think anybody's actually said they aren't going to play. I mean, if I was hurt, I wouldn't go. What's really the point?
That'd be ridiculously dumb to go. Are some hurt guys not going?
Kevin Durant was talking about how he might go, and then
oh shit, yeah, he might as well, right? He already had it.
He already had it, and he won't play. Like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, no matter what, won't play. They're both they're hurt, so they can't play. I saw something that the Raptors are going to go down in 14 days, it looks like.
Oh, wow.
Or the first week of July, they're going to go down and then practice at Florida Gulf Coast. That's what it says.
It's not a bad idea.
No. I mean, I don't know. At least it's sports.
Right.
So first games are July 30th.
Yep. Yeah, because I feel like it's going to be tough for the teams because you would have to think just like in the vicinity of the hotels, or the facilities that they're staying at. Like there can't be a ton of like buildings for them to train and work out and scrimmage and actually run on a court and stuff.
Oh yeah, they have it all set up so you can do all that.
Right. I'm just wondering how many different facilities they're gonna which ones they're gonna be using and how many there are gonna be for the NBA solely.
They're all gonna be for the NBA solely. Everything the NBA is doing.
I meant in the area what's gonna be used. I haven't looked too much into that. I'm kind of interested in seeing that.
I mean, they're gonna use 9 different facilities. But they're all for the everything that the NBA is using during this time. No one other than NBA personnel that gets a credential will be able to walk anywhere inside this place. So, I mean, they're not they took over a month to prepare all this. There's not going to be a tough way to get some shots up. There's no way the NBA went into this, picked Orlando because they have so many different facilities.
I just haven't
able to coordinate practice
spots. I want to look into that.
I mean, it's all in Orlando. It's all those the complexes they have. The Disney complex has 35 different courts, and then you have all the Magic, Magic places. Huh?
Did they say how many games they're gonna be playing per day?
I think it's during the times when everyone's there when they do the 8 regular season games. I want to say it's 4 games a day.
They have between July 30th and the first day of playoffs is August 17th. So they have 18 days to play the 8 games between all.
And there's 24 teams or
so
22 teams.
So 11 times 8 is 88 games divided by 16 days or 18 days. So like 4.5 games a day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they play some days they're trying to look at 4, and then some days they're looking at 5. So it's like so it's going to be like a March Madness-esque of like just games back to back to back to back. I mean, there'll only be one on at a time because they're playing on one court.
Are the Warriors even going? Like they have to go for a little bit?
No, they have the worst record in the NBA.
So who goes? Top 8 teams?
So you have to be within 8 games of the 8 seed.
Oh, okay.
And then the top 8 teams. They did that part all because they want Zion to make the playoffs and play. Like that was the only reason they did that shit. Like the Wizards are like seven games back. Like they almost have to win every game, and the 8 seed has to lose every game for them to make it. And there's like another team in the Western Conference. Huh?
I said I thought they did that for the Nets too because because there wasn't like a set date for when it was gonna start yet, and they're like kind of clinging on to hope that maybe Kyrie or Kevin could.
The Nets are in the playoffs though.
Right, but I'm saying like with how many games there's gonna be, like they only made it 8 so they can make sure that like the really good teams stay in the playoffs too. Like only having 8 bubble games.
No, you should just – if you want Kyrie and KD, you just don't even play any games. You just go to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, for the good teams, too. Like, that's why there's so few. They want to make sure, like, they keep the good ones in as well.
I mean, like, 1 through 5 or 6 are already, like, there's no way they can't make the playoffs.
I'm going to look at it.
There's, like, only –
7 and 8 are the only ones on the bubble, right?
Yeah, and so I think in the Western or East –
record was that good, to be honest. I thought they were playing like dog shit at the beginning.
I'm pretty sure the Nets are the 7th seed in the East, and there's like no way. There's 6 games up on the Wizards, so like they're gonna make it. They would have to lose all 8 games. If they lose one game, that almost already
bro,
the Wizards out.
That's nuts. I remember like losing 5 games in a row.
Okay, and then Dallas. Dallas, there's no way they don't make the playoffs as a 7 seed in the West.
Who's the 2 seed in the West?
The 8?
No, the 2.
The West is the Clippers.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So Dallas is 10 games ahead of the 9 seed in the West. So there's no way they miss it.
So if they double up 2 of the games and then lose both of those.
Yeah, like play 12 games and then lose all those. And then like –
the last game count for 8 games.
Even Memphis, they're 3.5 games from the 9 seed. Like that's – so what you just said makes no sense, Nagy.
You're right. I did not think that they were making the playoffs. Like I didn't think they were in the top 8 seeds yet.
The Nets, the East is horrible.
I know. I'm looking at their last 30 games right now, and I'm counting up how they rounded out like the last 20, 25.
That's crazy that the past 5 years or 4 years it's been Cavs, Warriors, and now they're both in last place. Like when you look at the standings.
I know of the standings. Yeah, that's – but like so Phoenix is going. There's 6 games out of 8th place. You lose those first 2 games, I'm like, all right, I'm done. If I'm Devin Booker, I'm like, why am I risking my max contract to get hurt? I'm done. Like
the thing is though, but so the Suns could possibly be playing like teams that are 1 game, like the 4 or 5 seed, like a 1 game difference, and they both play the Suns somehow. I don't know, like if that would actually pan out, but they're playing those games too, correct? Like that's
the Suns, yeah. So they're still in it.
Say it again.
What's up?
So how does it? So there's 8 total games you're saying, or how?
So how the 8 games is working is what they're doing is the Lakers are playing the next 8 games on their schedule, but if let's say they played the Bulls, let's say they're supposed to play the Bulls game 1, they don't have a game. They moved to their game 2. So you could technically play the same team like 3 times if they were loaded in the back end of your schedule.
Right.
Or you could like the Lakers might not play I think they still have to play the Clippers once, but like they could not play the Clippers at all because it's only the next 8 games.
So you really luck out here if you had like a easier schedule and you're up by like a game or two, or it could fuck you too, like for that last couple of seedings, like where it's like
100%.
That's really interesting, actually. I wonder like who that's play the most.
But like you're the Trailblazers, you're 3 games back. What if you got Memphis 3 times? Like that's like that could help you out so much, but it also could be like you lose 2 of those, you're done. Like you're not making it.
Or yeah, so where are the Trailblazers at? What seed are they?
They're the 9. They're 3.5 back from Memphis.
What about so like let's say like I don't know like if this is the case, but like let's say the 4 seed is 2 games above the 6 seed and like 2 games back from the 2 seed, and they have like 6 games. Everybody else has a bye, so they just like fuck themselves, lose all those games, and then they're down to the 6. Everybody else moves up. Like it could really play like some interesting possibilities there.
I think you have to play 8 games.
You have to? Okay.
Yeah, like I think like if you don't, like you make it like they insert teams if like they both are short. Like let's say you had 6, you play.
So if the Clippers and the Lakers both only have 6, they play each other, or would they not do that?
If they both, yeah, they probably could. I don't know. So the Lakers are 5.5 above the Clippers.
Oh, okay.
So the Lakers first suspended games. Well, yeah. So the Lakers are going to be fine because they play. Yeah. They won't even play the Clippers because the Lakers play the Rockets, Denver, Utah twice, Toronto, Washington Wizards, Minnesota, and Indianapolis. So there's their 8 games.
Ooh. Where are the Pacers?
But I mean, they're like the 4 seed in the East.
They're 14 games back of 1st and 5th, but they're only 2 games. They're only 2 games back of the Heat and 4.5 back of the Celtics at 3.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see if this like rocks up some seeding.
Yeah, definitely more in the West.
Well,
because like in the West, only 4 games separate the 2 and the 6 seed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was thinking. So yeah, like depending on how you play here, like you could really fuck up who you're playing in the first round. And like,
well, that's another thing too, though, is like these players. I mean, everyone's like, well, they're gonna come back rusty, dude. But they also got a fucking huge vacation in the middle of the season to rest their legs, knowing that they're gonna come back and play 8 games and then the playoffs. Like these teams that are fighting for seeding, like you're the Rockets, you're only 4 games above behind the 2 seed. You go balls to the wall, go 7-1, you could find yourself as the 2 seed. Like,
yeah, someone made a good point. Like that. Okay, so here's a good question. Who do you think that helps the most in both conferences, and who do you think it hurts the most in both conferences? Like, ideally,
I think the Lakers. I think the Lakers and the Clippers. It helps the most in the Western Conference. They're both very old teams and know how to play, and I think this benefits star players more than it hurts them because like a guy like LeBron, rest only helps him. I think a team like the Denver Nuggets, it could hurt because they're super young and playing in this kind of impact stage / they haven't been that great in the playoffs, and this is almost going to be like the playoffs the whole time.
Yeah.
I think the Jazz, it'll be interesting how they work with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell because of that whole rift of obviously when coronavirus first happened. I think the Rockets, it could help because like it's tough to prepare for their small ball lineup and you're just getting back into the things and they can just run and go. The East, I think the Bucks are just so much better than everyone else that it's going to help them. I think it helps like a team like Miami who has a great coach and is young but also has veterans. I think the Pacers, it hurts because Oladipo barely played and they haven't been able to mesh. So they're just kind of getting thrown back out there with 8 games to fight for seeding. And if they don't play well, they can move all the way back to the 6th seed and you're playing, Boston in the first round. That'd be a tough ass matchup. Philly, I feel like it might hurt them. I feel like a bunch of their players kind of play just for the crowd type thing. So, and then I think Boston is kind of the same thing as Miami. You have a really good coach, so that's going to help you. Toronto, I think, is going to be good out of the gate, but once playoffs turns around, I don't know how well they'll do. But I think they'll be good in the first 8 games.
Yeah, my other thought would be like, was there anybody like on fire, like just on fire right before this happened? They're just like it kind of like killed their momentum a little bit, like just gave everybody else the edge up to rest up and shit. Interesting thought.
The Lakers were on fire. The Bucks were actually playing. They lost 3 games in a row for the first time in the season.
Wow.
The Raptors were on a 5-game winning streak.
And so now home court means nothing. That's another very interesting point too. Like like the fans, like you said, fans and home court advantage means nothing. So like
nothing.
Like the 2-7, or maybe not the 2-7, but just like a
3-6.
Yeah, like where it gets loud as shit possibly in that stadium, like the Rockets or whoever.
Yeah.
It's like that does nothing now. So it's like
or
these guys out there too.
A 4-5. I mean, 4-5 sometimes comes down to Game 7, whoever's the 4 seed, because they got to play at home. Like,
Right.
that doesn't mean shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like the 3-6, Boston, Philly. I mean, Philly's been horrible on the road in the playoffs the past, like, 3 years. Like,
Right.
are they able to even show up? Because it's like, you lose games 1 and 2 and you're the lower seed. You're like, oh, we get to go back home for 2 games. Now you're just like, we're playing in the same fucking arena. What is that going to do?
Right. Yeah, that's another good thing or good point too. It's like there's no like, okay, we can like take a break and rebound here. We're going to our home.
Right.
Like those 2 teams have some pretty historic venues, like passionate fan bases, and it's just going to be
100%. 100%. But then, I mean, that'll be super interesting to watch. Also, it'll be interesting to watch, like, the first few games, like, over-unders. Like, our team's selling out on defense now because they're trying to get their rotations back in as quick as possible. Or is, like, everyone's just been shooting in a gym with fresh legs. Is everyone just hitting everything? Like,
right. So how long of a break has this been?
How long what?
Longer than any offseason, right? I read that, I think.
Say that again. I didn't hear your question.
I know, like, for a team that doesn't make the playoffs, this might not be true, but this has been a longer break than any offseason, right?
Oh, easily, because they're not starting the season until, like, the Christmas. Yeah. So, like, if you don't play in this, it stopped in what? January, February, March?
Right.
And
9 month
play
off.
for – yeah. I mean –
Or no, 8 month off season.
No. Yeah. So that's easily the longest off season. And then think about it too, like that you didn't like you're not practicing, you're not coming to training camp when you normally did either. So that's like another extended. You normally go to training camp like late September. You're now not going to training camp like till beginning of December. So like
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that while we were talking, like if they're going to delay the start of the 2020, 2021.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
I think
they have to. They have to. The basketball starts the week before Halloween. This one doesn't end till like that week. Like they would literally
the first week after the BCS or not the BCS, but the playoff championship for college football.
No, they should start every year on Christmas. Nothing's ever on Christmas but the NBA. Just start on Christmas.
Yeah, I guess you can't do away with Christmas NBA, like even for a season.
Just start on Christmas. It's enough time. Limit the games by like 8 or 10. Go to 70-game season. Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, just stop trying to fight with the peak of college football and NFL season. Like, let's be real. We all love bowl season. We all love NFL playoffs. But, I mean, the middle weeks of college football season when there's like 15 teams who still have a chance to make the playoffs, and then the NFL – I mean, up until like week 8, there's like almost 75% of the teams still have technically a chance to make it. Like, that's peak football. Why are you trying to fight with those teams like during that when everyone's obviously going to watch that? Yeah. It's just
they would have a much better time competing with baseball than football.
Go into late July when baseball's in game 100 of 162 when no one gives a shit.
Definitely.
So.
Like the playoff race is like down to like there's like 4 teams that are not like stamped their place in that can actually have a shot. So it's like
in football, you're saying?
No, in baseball, like the playoffs are like.
Oh yeah.
There's like not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously still like a handful of teams,
But it's still like people are like, I can watch in August. I don't
yeah.
have to watch it right now.
And
Uh,
so are they gonna also like do like March Madness style, like when the playoffs roll around? Are they gonna like then slow it down to their normal pace, kind of?
Well, instead of having like 2 days off for traveling, every time it's just one day you play, one day you play, one day you play. So like even the NBA Finals is going to be game, off day, game, off day, game, off day, game, off. So like that'll be awesome. And then I'm sure they'll stagger it when it's like Eastern Western Conference Finals. It'll be like Eastern Western Eastern Western Eastern
Yeah.
Western.
I mean,
beginning of.
Yeah, if they.
But what's going to be awesome? What's
Yeah.
going to be awesome is like you have games have to start at like noon. They have to because there's no other way they can play all these games in a day unless a game starts at noon. So you can't have the 7 p.m. first round Eastern Conference game, the 7:45 other first round Eastern Conference game, and then the Western Conference game on at night. Like you have to play every game, the 5 games that day. So it's like it's going to be staggered and it's going to be awesome because there's going to be basketball on all day.
Yeah, it's literally going to be like the first Thursday of the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be more awesome because I think it's going to be taken so seriously because it's like, dude.
Every game counts.
Exactly. I mean, the Lakers are probably going to will probably take some off if they go like 3-0 because they literally can't lose the 1 seed then. But like, I mean, they're still going to play hard because it's like the amount of time they took off, that's a lot of time to be away from like playing a team sport like that and then just pick it back up as if like the season didn't stop. So,
but the thing is, like, yeah, the Lakers are most definitely going to like rest for sure, like no doubt about it. But they could also influence who makes it, who they're playing, like in certain rounds and whatnot.
100%. Oh, you better believe if they somehow have to play the Pelicans one game and the Pelicans are like a game out of the Grizzlies, they're like we want the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
that's also like a good point. Like maybe like if the 2 or 3 seeds don't think they're going to move like toward the end of the 8 games, they could like lose to the team that they want to get the 8th seed if they're like better than.
That's always been a thing. Like, you can't technically do that in sports, but like people.
Right, you're not supposed to be throwing games. It's like against.
Oh, but then all of a sudden Jimmy Butler has a calf soreness and like.
Oh yeah, like the injuries like you can't really fight against if you throw out like an injury like that, and so you have to play bench players.
God, it'll be sweet though. Like, I usually don't watch the NBA this early in the season. Like, I'd wait till like second round of the playoffs maybe or something.
Yeah.
But this will be easy to get into right away.
It'll be cool with like the games on all day too. I mean, their ratings at like noon and 2 will probably be so high. Like,
so they're
of
sport back then, right? Other than UFC, they will be or no?
What's up?
They'll be the first sport back other than UFC, right? When it's all said and done.
UFC, golf,
Or golf.
And I think hockey is like around the same exact time.
Oh, is it? Okay. And
yeah, like they're gonna start around. So it'll be awesome too because hockey is gonna be the same exact way where you are only playing in one rink, so you have to play. Now they're jumping straight to playoffs, but like they're also adding instead of doing a regular season with 10 teams, they're doing the playoffs with 10 teams. So like
in the way it ended is the seating at the end of the like when it stopped.
Yes. So like but if you're like a top 4 seed, you like get a bye. So you don't play. And then the bottom 6 teams all play. So the Blackhawks play the best of the 6 team because they were the last team in the one conference. And then after each round it reseeds.
Interesting.
So, but it'll be the same thing because they're talking like it's going to be Vegas is for sure going to be one of the places. And
yeah. That's true, yeah.
And then they didn't say the other place, but it's like you have 5 playoff series all playing in one rink. You have to start at, a certain time just to be able to play all these games and be over in the fashion that they want to be over in October. So that'll be fucking sweet when it's like a Tuesday and you have the second round of the NBA playoffs going on at noon and It'll be even better for hockey because they could be playing at the same time because they're in two different places. So it'll be it'll be sweet. And then in September, football is going to be back. You'll have both these playoffs going like crazy.
September could be nuts.
September could be the greatest sports month ever.
Yeah, literally of all time.
And if somehow baseball comes back, they will be fighting for the last like few games in September too. So like you will get damn near playoff baseball, playoff hockey, playoff basketball, college football, NFL, Kentucky Derby, Masters, like all these events all within a month to 2 months. It could be the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. That'll be nuts.
But anything else from to you?
Oh yeah, and the Raiders are hosting the Pro Bowl in 2020.
I saw that. Yeah. I can't wait till they host a Super Bowl.
That'd be sick. A Vegas Super Bowl, that'll be literally nuts. Hopefully they should well, I think aren't they already like all bid it out for a while, or did they announce that like
I think it's like 6 years or 4 years.
So yeah.
But at least the players, like, if you make the Pro Bowl, it's like cool, you get a free week in Vegas. Like that at least like helps you a little bit. Like, you know.
I mean, would you rather do Hawaii or Vegas though?
But they don't do Hawaii anymore.
I know. Oh, how long have they not been doing Hawaii? Like for a year or two now?
No, like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, fuck. Dude, that's I mean, like I get it. Like it was.
I would go Hawaii because they got to Honolulu and it was like a huge vacation. Because like all of them probably go to Vegas in their off season anyways, but they don't go to Hawaii. But it's like you get paid to go to Hawaii and you get all these endorsements and stuff over there to do it.
Why is football the only sport that doesn't do it like mid-season like everybody else?
I don't know because it's probably the easiest to get hurt in, I guess.
Yeah, you could definitely make that point, but it's like they don't even try anyway. Like no one gets hurt in those fucking games. So
right, like you could just do it mid-season and have them do like just challenges.
Like where do how the NBA does it, like where they don't give a shit till like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No one's gonna.
That'd be sweet if they actually gave a shit at any point though, like the Pro Bowl, and it was like the actual Pro Bowl teams like going at it for one quarter. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, or like I think it'd be kind of cool to see like maybe like a 7-on-7 type thing, like where it's not, or like
that's what I'm saying. Do like skill challenge things, like like watch Mitch Trubisky not even be able to throw it through a little tire wheel, like.
Target, yeah.
All right. That's it for you boys?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll see you later this week.
Peace.